We back at it. I told y'all yesterday that we're gonna do some talking. We're gonna be breaking some things down because I think this might be the most important conversation you're going to hear in this whole pantheon in retrospect of the Cleveland Browns situation with Shedeur Sanders. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break this down in a way that we can all understand. And then we move forward. You ain't even gonna have no problems with nobody. This is the PowerPoint presentation. This is what you hand to them when they tell you something. We're gonna take our time with this. This one is gonna age beautifully. And we about to get in here and cook. I got the apron ready to go. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna educate you today, and we're gonna debunk this stuff. You see, some of y'all is out there thinking that you're smarter. You're not smarter. We do this for a living. I got receipts, and I'm going to show you how the game has been moving. I'm going to get to how the game is being moved. And stop playing. You know what they mean. Stop running around like acting like I'm confused what's going on. Now, we're going to break that down today. And after today, we shouldn't have no more conversations about it, should we? You're listening to G. Bush right here in the Barbershop.
Quality, service, atmosphere. You're next in the chair. Feel at home in the Barbershop. G. Bush offers a fresh cut on sports. The Barbershop isn't just grooming for guys. It's culture, it's lifestyle, it's sports. And it's now the Barbershop is giving the sports scene a sheer shade and shine. Join the makeover now. Follow Garrett Bush at GBush91 on Twitter.
Welcome on into a Saturday morning. I am your host, G. Bush, and it's the Barbershop, the most electrifying show on the internet, in the game as we speak. And we got to talk about some things. We're going to get into a lot of stuff. You know, I said in my opening monologue, stop playing and acting like you don't know what they're talking about. People is out here trying to make it seem like, oh, people are confused. Why are you saying that the Browns don't want Shedeur? How can people say that? People are saying that. Stop it. Again, stop it. Y'all is running around here acting like you don't know what you're talking about. We're going to translate it for you in very clear pictures so we can let y'all know and operate how we need to get down where we need to get to. Because you know good and well, they're not saying that. You know what they are saying is that y'all cats is playing around and that we should be getting opportunities. Second of all, we got to go over something. And this is the thing that I'm starting to wonder and I don't understand. Why everybody be silent on where y'all be at on the weekends? Y'all notice they be quiet. Where everybody at? The streets is quiet right now. Anytime something don't fit the resolve or the narrative, all of a sudden, the streets is quiet. Twitter is empty. Where's the tweets? Where's all the... We got to get to it. And we also got to get to this. Can we finally say something? Can we really get to this? I'm going to be the first one to say it. Why is it that nobody... You talk about giving people passes. 3 or 14? 3 or 14? This is the stuff that people be talking about, man. Because you're insulting people's intelligence when you keep coming out here trying to say that that this guy is better than this guy, that this dude is better than this. He's been always better. He's a supercomputer. He don't make mistakes. This is the stuff that we always talk about, man. And when I get to a situation where I ask people all the time, what makes you believe? What makes you believe that Kenny Pickett is not an individual that is going to be able to do what he needs to do? And every time somebody asks him about him, they say somebody else was railroading Kenny Pickett. I bring up the simple fact that you got different things that need to go on. As this alarm goes off. Where's this alarm? We can't hear. Oh, that's my alarm right here. There you go. That was that was take my medication alarm. But we're good. But as we was cooking before, why every single time that we start talking and you say, well, they want somebody to hold and control the football, and I go back and tell you about, Kenny Pickett's, his hit, what he's done, and I say he hasn't thrown any his touchdown to interception rating ain't crazy like that. What we doing here? They're like, oh, it was Matt Canada. It was Matt Canada. That's what that was. It was just he was sabotaged. I said, I find it ironic that people is willing to, always say somebody got sabotaged. But that same little rebuttal doesn't work for other people. Why is it okay when you say somebody got sabotaged, but you don't understand when people think that the coaching staff is sabotaging Shedeur Sanders? You're absurd. Why would they sabotage him? I could say the same exact thing for Kenny Pickett. It's absurd. The Steelers have how many Super Bowls? Every time you compare us to the Pittsburgh Steelers, what do y'all say? They're a model organization. They have multiple Super Bowls. They have some of the greatest all-time greats. Lynn Swann, Franco Harris, Terry Bradshaw, Mean Joe Green. They got guys, they had quarterbacks. They have 3 coaches in the last 10 years. And you talk about the last 55 years, 3 coaches. And you talk about Mike Tomlin going to the playoffs every single year. You talk about Mike Tomlin all the time and how great of a coach he is. And all he does is go to the playoffs with whoever is at quarterback. But when I ask you why Kenny Pickett didn't perform up to snuff, you tell me that the Pittsburgh Steelers, out of all of the places, they just bent over backwards to screw Kenny Pickett. Stop playing. You know what they mean. Why can you see and understand and have this such a soft spot in your heart for certain people, but other people don't deserve a shot, don't deserve reps, don't deserve anything. He's a 5th round pick, blah, blah, blah. But you squint your eyes and say that the Pittsburgh Steelers, who you praise up and down, railroaded Kenny Pickett. Stop playing. You know what they mean. We've been hearing all training camp about the supercomputer Dillon Gabriel. Now, I've always said this, man. When you play good, I'll give you credit. When you don't play good, guess what I'm going to say? And to my credit, I talked about how Dillon Gabriel looked better than I thought he was looking in the days that I went to camp. But then we had this happen, boys and girls. Exhibit A. Told you I got the receipts. We gonna cook today, because everybody magically off. Everybody at T-ball practice. Everybody at the lake. Everybody vacation. Where everybody at on the weekends? I told y'all better stay clear. Let's look at it. I didn't create this. I just helped spawn it. Here's your tracker. Here's what I got a problem about. If this was flipped around, and that Sanders name was by 3 of 14 and 1 interception, y'all would have been wiped your hands clean and moved on. I told you he ain't it. I told you exactly what it was. He's just not ready. Everybody pumped their brakes. He's a 5th round pick. And guess what? Shedeur might have a day like that. And when he do have a day like that, I want y'all all to rewind to this part of the tape and say, guess what? Where was everybody at when Dillon Gabriel had a day like that? Huh? Where were you at? What were you saying? There ain't no There is not one reporter who is out here going in depth saying, wow, this was crazy. Mind you, when Shedeur does anything, it's minimized, marginalized, and something is thrown at the end. When Dillon Gabriel goes 3 or 14, everybody's on vacation. Everyone's at the boathouse. Everyone has things to do that they can't write any articles or do anything or say anything because, yeah. And this is a problem you created. Don't try to conflate and try to make it seem like we saying that the Browns don't want Shedeur Sanders on the team and they're the one that drafted him. And why would they? No, we're saying that the way you're presenting it is faulty. Because when Shedeur goes 7 and 10, or he goes and throws 3 touchdown passes, it's practice. It does not count. He's not getting first team reps. But Dillon Gabriel, when he is getting first team reps, is 3 or 14. And no one says anything. Not at all. That's what they're saying. You see, you got to watch folks. They're good at it. They do this for a living. It is communication. It is persuasive talking. So when people get out all hot and bothered and extra, and I don't know why they think that the owner don't want them. I don't know why the owner. No. They're talking about the overall process. They're talking about the overall feel, the overall energy. The overall energy is this. It doesn't matter what they actually do on the field. You're assigning traits to people that is not evident on the field. The person that is 7 of 10, the person that gets all the touchdowns, the person who's thrown the most touchdowns. Who's thrown the most touchdowns in camp? All together, boys and girls. Shedeur Sanders. Whose completion percentage is highest in camp? All together, boys and girls. Shedeur Sanders. Matter of fact, Joe Flacco was 9 of 13. Do you know that these are Joe Flacco's first 2 touchdowns? We've been in camp 8 days. First 2. The problem people have with this situation is this. It's not about who wants who or who drafted who and how it moves. It's the fact that they are seeing and people are seeing him throw, complete passes, ball out, and he's not getting the reps. He's not getting the same energy. He's not. Everything is like pulling teeth. All you got to say is he was balling, but this though. But what about that though? So let me give you the receipts, and I'll show you why people say that. But first, let's go talk. I'll give him credit. Shout out to him. Nathan Zegura, slowly but surely. Guess what he's saying? This is courtesy of 92.3 The Fan. Matter of fact, hold on before we did. My man, ROI Mindset, shout out to him. He commented below this. All of a sudden, camp don't matter in the NFL when Shedeur is smoking everybody. But let Shedeur have that same you know what, and everybody would be dogpiling him. So if camp don't matter, then why is that where players are fighting for jobs? Say that one again, louder. If camp does not matter, why are all the players there fighting for jobs? Well, my man, ROI, well, guess what? The people that's saying that and the people that's writing that and the people that's saying that in the media, they know good and well that it matters. They just want to apply it to whoever they want to apply it to. If it ain't somebody that I feel like is balling, or I don't really like, or whatever the case may be, guess what? I'm going to say it doesn't matter. But in the very next sentence, you tell me how impressed you are with another dude in practice. If it don't matter, then why DeJuan Jones shouldn't practice? If it don't matter, None of the receivers should be out there. If it don't matter, what is training camp for? Let's get to this. 1,600 in here. Let's get to Nathan Segura. I'll give him credit because, and this courtesy of ESPN. He was on the morning show with Anthony Lyman and Ken Carmen in 92 through the fan, courtesy of 92 through the fan. Let me see what he's talking about. And he gets right to the brass tacks of the situation. Let's stop acting like he's not balling. Let me put my logo back up here. Let me put the logo up here. Stop playing. You know what they mean.
So I understand why it probably hasn't happened. It's tough to get 4 guys first team reps, so I understand why it probably hasn't happened yet. But I do think he has earned the opportunity because he throws an incredibly good ball, a very catchable ball, and he's just so accurate. His ball placement is excellent. They had us play.
So this is what you got to pause this right now. This is what we're going to be talking about. The narrative and what they're trying to get away from is, I told you, it's tabloids. All of the who took who and who was behind it, I don't give a damn about none of that. When people come to you with that noise, they tell on themselves. You know how they tell on themselves? Because instead of you talking about what's happening on the football field today, you talk about who picked him. You told on yourself. And the reason they move to those arguments and dance around and try to get this emotional response is because you can't handle the black and white that's on the field, which is, guess what? The plays. Stop acting like this guy is a sideshow, that somebody using him to sell jersey like he Tim Tebow. Stop acting like he ain't been the most accurate. Stop acting like he ain't put the touchdowns up. Stop acting like you don't know what people are saying. Put it back up for him, G. Bush. Stop acting like you don't know what they mean. It's not about what Sanders, who wants Shedeur or who wanted him. It's about the fair opportunity. Period, point blank. It's about the opportunity that his game has shown on the field that bears merits and bears fruit that should be in the game. You got to be smart. That's what they do. You know what a great lawyer once said? If the facts aren't behind you, attack the system. If the facts aren't with you, if the game tape ain't with you, if the narrative don't fit anymore, what's the next best thing? I'll talk about the process. I'll talk about the problematic Shedeur fans. I'll talk about how it's unfair that people question whether Jimmy Haslam picked him or it was Andrew Berry. Don't nobody give a shit about that. Stop. And we have to be focused and unbothered. And every time they come with it, you ask them the same questions I ask everybody else. Did you go to practice? Did you evaluate him prior? What do you think he's doing now? If they say another man's name, they're faulty. Don't you tell me what another man saw. You got the opportunity. Take your ass out to Berea, sit on that sideline, and watch it like I did. Don't you tell me what another man say. What's your opinion? You telling me about feelings, and when it ain't on your side, now it's time to talk about, think about it. Every time, I'm giving you the receipts. I'm just showing you. Anytime he start cooking, watch it. It's like clockwork. It's like you take 6 steps forward and 3 steps back. Because in every conversation, it's the greatest hits. I dare somebody to evaluate Shedeur Sanders without saying the 5 buzz phrases. humble. Anything about his father? 5th round pick, earning his spot, or quarterback next year? Watch. You know how hard it is? Because here's the thing. Though all those things have nothing to do with today. Absolutely nothing to do with today. So every time he played, well, get ready for, let's go back to the greatest hits. Let's get back to the talking points. Let's get back to anything besides doing your damn job, which is watching the games and telling me what you think. Let's continue on. Maybe Nathan Segura can tell. I thought Nathan Segura said it well. Stop acting like he's some sideshow. Like he's some dude that somebody's giving him charity. He's been the best dude in camp. Sorry, fellas. Sorry it didn't work out for you like that. He's been the best person, the most accurate, the most touchdowns with the least amount of opportunity. So of course you would talk about anything but that. Again, stop playing. You know what they mean. It's not about who wants Shedeur or how he got here. It's about earning the opportunity. I'm not going to talk no more. Let's get to Nathan and see how he does it.
That, it's tough to get 4 guys first team reps, so I understand why it probably hasn't happened yet, but I do think he has earned the opportunity because he throws an incredibly good ball, a very catchable ball, and he's just so accurate. His ball placement is excellent. They had us play at the end of practice the other day. He had a great rollout and a throw there kind of in that live period at the end of practice, which was, I should have been the first question, quite frankly, Ken. Can you believe there was a live tackling period in a Kevin Stefanski training camp?
Amazing.
Yes, I told you guys months ago that this was going to be a much different camp, and certainly it already is. But back to Shedeur in that hungry dogs, it's kind of the opportunity period. There was a one-on-one for the push-ups on the line. Luke Floria made a great move on kind of a deep over, got around the corner. It had to be late.
By the way, I'm waiting for Luke Floria. Luke Floria is out here cooking. Every time you hear that man's name, he doing something. Engage is too. Larva to Engage. Listen, what a name. I like them too.
Geared in kind of over him out in front. And it was a perfect ball from Shedeur. So, yeah, I've been very, very impressed with him. And, all people saying, oh, it's going to be a circus. It's going to be a circus. It's absolutely nothing. He comes in, he works really hard, and he's done a great job.
Yeah. I know it don't fit. I don't know. I know it didn't fit the talking points, but all he's done is go out there and ball. All he's done is answer all the questions. But today is the last day. I'm going to let y'all know something. Today is the last day. I'm leading a new coalition. I'm leading a new coalition. I am now overlooking the Abs crew immediately. You say Abs? I say, yeah, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of media member out there doing a bunch of crunches. You say Abs? What are you talking about, G? Bush, you crazy. The Anybody But Shedeur coalition. I no longer can pay attention to you. I suggest you guys do the same. This is the last time I'm devoting any energy at any level to trying to convince these folks about nothing. Because at this point, when you have numbers that are looking like this, and you tell me that one person can't get reps, but the person that's receiving the most reps, Dylan Gabriel, out of these 3 people, low-key has got more first-team reps than anybody, even Joe Flacco. And it's just not my assessment. Let's go to the other receipts. I told you I want to get multiple people. Let me see if I got it together. I know that's why it takes me some time to get on. And I bear witness. Thank you, chat, for being patient with me. But today was very important because this is the last day I'm going to talk about this, and we're going to get a transition. And I hope people will follow me with this. I hope you will have the same mindset, because I think that they're giving you something, and it's called a beautiful distraction. They're distracting you from talking about what actually counts. So let's talk about what actually counts. Not whether or not you want to keep calling somebody a supercomputer, and stop telling me, well, the Browns think. I don't give it. You know what about what the Browns think? How you gonna tell me what a 3-14 team talking about and what they think and their evaluations, and they miss after miss after miss after miss after miss? No quarterbacks, no development. People leave here and get better. Stop telling me about what the brass of the Cleveland Browns think. I think they better get their act together and get in line. This is Browns film breakdown. You know what they do, right? They break down film. By the way, they got 20,000 subscribers on Twitter. It's not like they got 5 or 6. It's not a mom and pop. They break down film for a living. Let's read it. Mind you, I'm not sitting here telling you this as a knock on Dylan Gabriel. Everybody has bad days of practice. So when they tell you G. Bush is just a hater, tell them to go put it in a clip, go to this point and say, G. Bush already told you what you was going to say, and he said this. Everybody can have bad days in practice. But the problem is you won't even acknowledge Shedeur's good games, let alone bad ones, because he ain't had none. So when you acting like it's just practice and it doesn't matter, and Dylan Gabriel is whatever, and you keep saying supercomputer and you keep saying processing, he's smarter, all this good stuff, he's getting the most reps. So why isn't he capitalizing? You got Jerry Jeudy, you got David Njoku, you got the first team line. Why are you not capitalizing? And why are you not asking that question? It's because you're not concentrating, because it don't matter to you. See, that's what they're telling you, that part out loud. It don't matter to them. See, it's a lot of people in this game that work on feelings. I feel this way and I talk good. But it's a difference between somebody talk good that know good. I don't care what you say. Anybody could talk good. Where's your knowledge base at? Where's your study habits? Well, this Browns film breakdown said the team session that just wrapped was the worst I've seen from Dylan Gabriel this camp. Defense was doing plenty of pre-snap to post-snap movement, and he looked flustered and inaccurate, including an interception, just one period of long camp in preseason, lessons to be learned. But every snap is vital in this process, and that's the part I'm getting at. Every snap is vital in this process, and he still continues to get first-team reps. And when you have a performance like that, and you're willing to go on record to talk about how bad Shedeur Sanders shouldn't be getting reps, well, I think I need you to come on here and say, well, listen, let me go ahead and analyze the reps that he's getting. Again, stop acting like they don't know what you don't know what we're talking about. It ain't about who wanted Shedeur or wherever they want. It's about opportunity. And why is one person getting them? And what is he doing with the reps and the opportunity he's been given? Anybody, I'm done with the abs. Anybody but Shedeur Camp, I can't do it. By the way, everybody don't think like that. Shout out to Nathan Zagur. So some would say, G. Bush, well, how are we gonna, we gotta figure this out. Was it really that bad in camp? Oh, well, just so happens I got this little video down here. And this is courtesy of Cam Justice. Shout out to Cam. This is the compilation. I'm not throwing no seasoning on it. This is what it is. No seasoning salt on it. I didn't edit this. This is throw for throw. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let me turn, and I'm going to turn down my volume because I think people talking in the background. Y'all not going to get me on this one. But let me turn my volume down while I play this. And you can check it out. This is all the throws. You let me know what you think.
That's not you. You never know.
the rest of the season.
I lied to y'all. I had to show you this. I was on Twitter, and let me know if you know this or not. This is how dumb people is. And this is why I have to do shows on Saturdays and spend half my time debunking stuff. These dudes on Twitter said this. Well, the ball went right through the receiver's hands. The ball went through his, I mean, how are you going to fault him for that interception? Because the ball went through the receiver's hands. This is why you Shedeur fans, you guys make me, it's cringeworthy. You guys don't even be watching this stuff. The ball went right through the receivers. You dummy. You dumb as a box of rocks. You do know that the offense is with the Brown. The white is the defense. This was such a bad pass that you didn't even realize that that was a defensive back. That wasn't a receiver. That wasn't an intended receiver. That was a straight up defensive back who was so perturbed with himself and so shocked that the football was coming to him like it was devoted for him. He got so scared that he just dropped the ball out of sheer shock. Like, oh my goodness, I can't believe he threw this football right to my chest. But this goes to show you, stop playing dumb. This is what they're talking about. You already have a rebuttal in your mind made up already, that's already ready to go, that causes you to completely erase reality. All to do mental gymnastics. This football was thrown in double coverage. One receiver, think about it. One wasn't good enough. Watch the one DB drop the pick, and the other one dude caught it. By the way, somebody tried to say, well, the ball might have been hit the ground. It might have hit the ground. I mean, but they called it that. You referees out there, are you guys beat reporters or referees? You let me know, did you see the computer? Did you see the supercomputer working back there? Processing and computing power and the power of Intel Pentium 4 processing. Windows 2075. He got all of the upgrades. You know what I'm saying? He running on that super fiber optic internet. because he reading stuff seven steps ahead. His bandwidth is just, put it back up here. Stop playing. You know what they mean. And I'm not laughing again at somebody having a bad practice, so you can stop that. So stop right now. What I'm laughing at is the mental gymnastics that you guys do to try to prove these points. That's why the internet is dry today on Saturday. Where's everybody? Where's the articles at? I'm trying to figure it out. 2,800 people. I'm trying to figure out where the articles are. I know. Let's continue on. I just want to get to something. We setting it up. So when we talking about it, when this goes out, let me take this down. When this goes out and you see this, right? See what it is. This is the tweet that makes people react a certain way. Actually, it made me react. Shout out to Lyman. By the way, this is one of my good friends. I just happen to not agree with him. So when people are asking why people are doing stuff or why people say that, it's because of this. I don't think people are truly appreciating how nearly impossible it's going to be for Shedeur Sanders to play well enough to go from a fifth round, fourth string quarterback to convincing the Browns not to draft a quarterback in the first round next year. Because this is what people are saying. It's the fact that this is the circular argument. The circular argument is, well, everybody else is better than him, and he's a fifth round pick. No, they're not. I just showed you 3 or 14. Shedeur has outplayed Dylan Gabriel since day one. Minicamp, rookie camp, all the camps. He's outplayed him. But the fact that nobody will admit that is crazy. It's the reason we have a tracker now, because people was blatantly not really being honest about what the game was looking out like out there. So you say we have a situation where the Browns are going to draft a quarterback, but at the same time, you're saying, I'm not willing to give him an opportunity to get first team reps to show what he can do, but Dylan Gabriel can and go 3 or 14. But there's no logical reason as to why you're not giving him reps when he's outplayed him. You fall back on a fifth round pick, but you negate what you're saying on the field every single day so that you can go back. So you could go back to draft another quarterback without giving this quarterback the opportunity. Again, the whole narrative about Jimmy Haslam and who wanted who and how this was going to work and Jimmy and the Browns drafted him. Why would they sabotage him? Stop acting like you don't know what they're talking about. They're talking about the fair and equitable opportunity to get first team reps when you've outplayed everybody in camp. That's what they're talking about. It's not rocket science. You don't have to but you can't play them games with me. I already know what it is. And what I said right there, we should be questioning the Browns' talent evaluations across the board. We all know their track record. It's obvious they missed on multiple free agents, trades, and draft picks. We are the dummies that fall for it yearly. We have not won a division title in 36 years. My premise has always been solid. My premise has always been this. Who do you think you are? Who do we think we are? We have been a laughing dumpster fire for 40 years. And you walk around arrogant, cocky, above your pay grade, talking about their evaluations. Frankly, their evaluations have got us in this bucket. Their evaluations have put us in a position where we've done nothing. But we run to the high tops and the hills and scream about executives. This is the problem with our society. We worship executives who don't deserve to be there. We give them money and bailouts to tank organizations, and we still toil in midlife, in mid-earth, trying to pay your bills. And they tell you, no, 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 we're the smart ones. Really, you are? How you getting a bailout? How everybody from Harvard and MIT and you put us in a housing crisis. You crashed the stock market with mortgage-backed loans. And the government runs to them and hands them a stack of money. We'll bail you out. We understand that you got us in this place because of greed and bad business decisions. But you the business people? But you the business people. And the premise that they're smarter because they're at that position, how well does that work for society? No, they're smarter because they're willing to be ruthless and they understand that the people at the bottom, if you give them a beautiful distraction, they'll never look up to see the oppression. I got to drink a sip of coffee. But every single time we turn the radio on, we got the general manager and how great he is. I'll show you a terrible team with losing records if every time those teams in their media big up general managers. Here's the thing. Let's be honest with you. You know the reason I can talk spicy like this? Because I don't want no coaches on my show. I don't want no general manager interview at all. Not one. I don't want to ask you no questions at the press conference. You know why? I want to come in here and give you smoke when you do stuff that's stupid. No. Why are we give you the keys to the organization. We let you be here 6, 7, 10, 12 years. And then you tell us how nearly impossible it's going to be for a guy who's outperforming everybody to get reps. So I almost said something bad. So these evaluators can pick another one? They be playing around with the wrong one. They be playing around with the wrong one. I would let them know, listen, you better eat your dinner right now. I don't want spaghetti. I don't want any. I want to eat. No, we gave you. It's wild to me, man. Go in here. You got a whole. That's the craziest thing in the world. That's like you come home from work. You like, yeah, man. We just went to the grocery store. You got all them groceries in here. All them groceries. We just went. We spent $300 at the grocery store. You get back, you come home, you like, cool, bet. Whatever you're gonna make, I'm just hungry. Whatever, do your thing. I'm just hungry. You know what I'm saying? Or if you don't even want to cook, I'll cook it myself. But you done lollygagged around. Now it's 6 o'clock. Okay, cool. Whatever you cooking. You go in there and be like, yeah, I know I got all this fresh produce. Yeah, I got all this meat in here. I got all this fresh dairy. But you know what? I don't know if it's any good. So what you mean you don't know if it's any good? I don't know. This is the first time I went to that place. The only way we're gonna find out if them steaks is good is if you outcrack that package, right? So you about to cook them steaks? Hold on, we'll see. 7 o'clock roll around. You like, bro, I thought we was eating at 6. Nah, 7 roll around. Hey, what we doing? I was contemplating on them steaks in there. I'm like, all right, well, listen, if it's too much, just let me know, because I'll throw something else in there that you get done quick. What else we got? Some other stuff in here. I might, how's about a salad? Fine, salads is cool. Just throw some chicken on there, great. I come back in there at 9 o'clock. I'm like, what are we doing? It's 9 o'clock. What are we doing here? And then finally, you'd be like, you know what? I didn't want none of those things, to be truthful. I want to order Uber Eats. How long that's going to take to get here? 2 hours. Under no circumstances. No. Under no circumstances. You got food in there that is ready to cook today in 5 minutes, but you slow played it, changed your mind 3 times on what you wanted to make, and now you're going to give me another ultimatum where I got to wait another 2 hours on Uber Eats? You got quarterbacks in your room today. You ain't going to use them. And if you do use them, you plan on using them late. And then you going to tell me that we talking about a quarterback next year? Boy, come on, boy. Listen, I could have made the meal myself. I ain't got no time for that. I have no time for that. And let me just show you how they be cooking this thing up. Let me show you this. Because this is a follow-up tweet. I told you I got a lot of receipts here. I got a lot of receipts. And trust me, we're going to end this on a positive note too. Because I know you, which is the thumbnail. For all those sticking around, you better hold on. Coming up here in a second, after we get to some of these chats, I'm going to tell you why your boy, Shedeur Sanders, is in Cleveland for a reason. And this is the best place for him. I know y'all rolling your eyes. Don't listen. Stop rolling your eyes. Well, some of y'all is like, nah, G. Bush, nah. Wait, I'm going to show you. But let's get to this. Now, after I done told you what the trades and picks, you know I got to come back with the wild tweets. This is somebody put under my comment. Steve, higher guitar strap era, says, we aren't questioning 31 other NFL teams' evaluations, though. Gee, I know you like to keep it a buck, so let's keep it a buck. The Browns are the ones that drafted him. They even traded up a few spots to make sure they got him. Everyone else let him slide that far, too. Let me just throw this out. Yeah, I do like to keep it a buck. Here's what we're going to do. Just because you take somebody, does that mean it's the right person? Just because you date somebody, does that mean because I dated that person and I'm the one who said you want to be my girlfriend, but then you cheat on her, you put hands on her, you degrade her in public, you don't never show her no support, you always critical, you demean her, you don't do nothing to ingratiate yourself with their family? Does that give you any premise to say, oh, but I'm the one who was in a relationship. I was the one who picked her. What do you mean? There's no way I treat her bad. Just on the premise alone, I'm the one who went with her. Nah, bro, just because you choose a relationship don't mean you doing right by a person. Just because you hire somebody don't mean that you ain't treating them fairly. You ain't giving them equitable wages. You always nitpicking. What kind of thought process is that? This is why you got to break this down. People say you always using analogies because when you use analogies, it make you sound stupid. How is the thought process there? Because somebody drafted you or somebody did one initial thing that was good for you, that was okay in the beginning, that you can do 45 other things that we're supposed to just overlook because you drafted them? Get out of here. Oh, and by the way, we aren't questioning 31 other teams' talent evaluations, though. Why would we? Again, I brought receipts. Again. So the premise of, well, the Browns aren't the only ones screwing it up. Well, I'll show you that's not true either. Let's take a look at the 4 teams who have never been to a Super Bowl. Never even been there. Let's start with this. Let's go with the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Houston Texans. By the way, Jacksonville has been a better organization since the Browns came back in '99, and Houston has too. And Houston was an expansion team. The Houston Texans are the youngest franchise, joining in 2002. They joined 3 years after the Cleveland Browns. The Texans have not reached the Super Bowl in their 22 seasons, failing to the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC divisional round after beating the Browns. Oh, by the way, they beat you and they ain't been to a Super Bowl. By the way, whose team is better right now? The Browns or the Texans? I think it's the team that got Nick Chubb. I think it's the team that has CJ Stroud. I think it's the team that has Nico Collins. I think it's the team I can continue to go on. And it's the team that boat raced you in the playoffs. It was the 5th time in the Texans' 7-year postseason appearances that they won one playoff game before losing in the divisional round. The other 4 was 2011, 2012, 2016, and 2019. I will then go on to say in 2015, 16, and 17, the Browns won a combined 131-1. Please don't tell me about other teams and what they're doing. Jacksonville, expansion team in 1995. Right? Let me tell you like this. Understand this. The Jacksonville Jaguars had 8 postseason appearances in 29 years. They reached the AFC Championship game in 1996 after being in the league for 1 year. What are we doing? This is why it infuriates me when you keep trying to respin and retool and remove and dance around, and the Browns think this. The Browns have been here for years. And again, have not won no championship, not even sniffed the AFC championship since Bernie Kosar in the 80s, have not won a division since 89. And this team came into the league in 95 and by 96 in the same division as the Cleveland Browns was in the AFC championship game. They went back to the AFC championship game 3 years later in 1999. Make it make sense. Do not tell me about what other teams are doing. Now let's get to it. That's 2 teams. Who's the other team that hasn't made it to the playoffs? The Detroit Lions. But guess what? The Detroit Lions are way better than us. Are they not? Are they not? Lions have reached the playoffs 13 times in the last championship, right? They lost 34-31 to San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game. They're better than you now. As a matter of fact, they're part of one of those teams that'll probably smoke you in the first 5 games. And now let's get to the team that everyone seems to have so much faith in, and the front office and our process and all that good stuff. The Cleveland Browns, one of 4 teams who have never sniffed the Super Bowl. The Browns reached the conference championship in 68, 69, 1986, 87, 89. That 89 year was the last year they won the division. The Browns moved to Baltimore, became the Ravens in 95, and by 99, they were Super Bowl champs. They've only been to the playoffs 3 times since coming back. 3. So let's go back to this. We aren't questioning 31 other teams' talent evaluations, though. Why would we? We're one of only the 4 teams that ain't never done anything. Let's get to your comments. Let's get to them. No more apologizing for going 2 hours. We here for it. Nephew about to light it up. Go Browns, anti-approved. We appreciate the super sticker. Jones CP3. The narrative around him is we want to bring him along slowly, and in the next sentence, we don't think the quarterback of the future is in the draft. Thank you so much. Y'all think that's the part, that's the only part, and once again, I want everybody to get it out now, because when I transition to where I want to go with this next, I think I'm not doing this no more. I just not. Why do you guys think why do you think that's I think the most indignant part of why people be so upset is that they take your intelligence and they just they think that they're doing literary masterpieces on you. At but at every single step, there's a walking contradiction. Bring them along slowly, but don't put him in too fast because we don't really want to actually give him an opportunity because he might actually turn out to be something. He's a 5th-round pick, and Dylan's a 3rd-round pick, but he's been outplaying him since day one, and it's painfully obvious given the numbers as well as the film that people see, but you keep saying it as if we didn't see the film. It's people, this is why I always tell people like this. It's a new day now where before, and this is the dangerous part about it. I grew up in an era where there was no readily available film where you could just watch tape yourself. There wasn't a Twitter where people was at camp putting up clips up. You just had to go on the word of somebody that wrote an article in the newspaper that got distributed to every household in America. Do you know what type of power that is? The people that can vote on your Hall of Fame career, the people that can say whether or not you're lazy, the people that can say whether or not you're smart enough or intelligent or picking up the playbook. You had to count on there every single word to give you the fair and honest testament. And it's scary because I question a lot of people's testimony. The fact that you're sitting here trying to act like we don't know what you're doing. It's find any way to keep them off the field so we can do. And here's the thing too. Can I say something? Can I talk my ish? Can I talk my stuff? Let me ask y'all a question. A lot of the game is about access. One of the biggest things in the world that happens is this. What happens if he does become, I don't know, a franchise quarterback? He's in the top 10 as quarterbacks and it's solidified. He's the dude. What kind of access you think they're going to get? I mean, think about it. If you already have well-off media, why would you, what type of access are you giving? He already has a platform where he can go directly to consumers. Where's your exclusives? Where's your interviews? Where's the inside information? Because everybody got a person that they talk to. Where's the inside stuff coming from? A lot of this has to do with access. And access is gold in this industry. So let me ask you a question. You already got access to Flacco. You already got access to Pickett. You ask yourself, what more access can I get out of Shedeur or Dylan Gabriel? Dylan will probably be more wherever you want me. But the problem is you got to remember, when Odell Beckham Jr. was here, one of the main reasons a lot of people did not like him is he gave no access. Very rarely did interviews locally. LeBron too. You don't like that. You don't like that. It's just, and the narrative around Odell was he didn't want to be here. You see, this ain't the first time that this has happened. Y'all just coming around lately. I've been here since day Jump Street dealing with it. He's not from here. He don't want to be here. He don't understand us. He's from a big city. He's a diva. He wears different color cleats. Oh yeah, they was talking about cleats here. A lot. This ain't the first one. Not the first one. When Deshaun Watson, when he got hurt, they was talking about how dare he was having dinner with his wife. because they thought he was at some retreat on a boat. Just like the tweet where they threw that interception and you're like, you dummy. He wasn't on no boat, no retreat. He was at his apartment and his wife made him dinner. And these clowns was on the internet going in talking about he doesn't want to be here, the blah, blah. I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. How you want to, and they got it from his wife's Twitter page. How you going to take a dinner? Never mind. Let me just keep going. This ain't the first rodeo, by the way. James Cosby. Like I said, like I've been saying, this football team has a fantastic young man in Sanders we could use, and they know it. But, you know, like here we are again. Can't suppress talent. Cream always rises to the top. Nephew got the it factor in spades. You're right. He got the big joker and the little joker. Bush, you were cooking as always. I'm telling you, when Stefanski said the backups usually don't get reps at practice, keep telling the truth. Mary S., I appreciate you. Let me tell you something, Mary. You guys know how I talk. And the number one thing that I've been saying since Jump Street has been this. What God got for you, no man can take it. Nobody. That's just how I feel. And I'm comfortable saying that because that's where your blessing and your help comes from. Not man. When we get to what we're talking about here in the second part, I want all y'all to take a deep, listen, the first part is great, but you got to hear the second part. So I hope you plugged in. Because I think this is talking to specific people. And I do a lot of meditating as me and my wife walk. It's been a really good thing for my mental health. Because as I walk and the body is in motion and you got the good energy going, I feel I'm freer to receive the message. And I remember during the week, the middle of the week, I really wanted to get it out. God told me, nope, wait till Saturday. Wait till Saturday. Bush slamming them this morning. No BS. No more. At the end of the day, we're going to transition to this because I'm not here to continue. After a certain point of time, I could play charades. I could play along with the game to a certain extent. But now it's time to get to the brass tacks. It's time to get to what we're saying. And the reality of the situation is, if you guys aren't going to say, I'll say, he's not better than Shedeur Sanders, period. He knows that. They get it. And the thing is, sometimes you got to let other people play their way out of a position. I've been saying all along, when you get on the field, it's what you do on the field. I truthfully believe that. I stand on that. So when people are saying something that ain't got nothing to do with the football, I got a problem with it. Because you violate. That's like somebody that devoted their whole life to building spaceships, and then you let people that are art majors come all the way up in the business and tell you how spaceships work. After a certain time, you can play along with it, but as they keep getting cocky with it, you just be like, oh, whoa. Listen, I was being nice to you to start. I was being nice. I was trying to, hey, kumbaya, everybody get along. But when these numbers right here come out, when these numbers like this come out, you question. The numbers like this come out and everybody gone. Don't you wait to get no heart on Monday or Tuesday. Y'all get heart on Monday and Tuesday. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, you'd be cooking right now. you'd have breaking news. Shedeur Sanders is no good. That's what we would be doing. I'ma still cook. That's what we still be on that today. It's hilarious and insulting to say Tank for Manning, the quarterback who's played 2 games in college, but he's the one. Make it make sense. Nah, here's the thing. This is why I don't respect it. I can't listen. I will respect any person who says, if my opinion is there are better quarterbacks in next year's draft, if that's your opinion, and any person can do this, that's why it insults me. Any person can do this. If that is your opinion, go pull it up on YouTube. You can literally watch every single game of whoever you want. It's there. And it don't even have to be no director's cut, no all 22. Just go and watch it. And then you come back to me. And as a fair arbiter, I'd say, debate your point. See, I was in debate class early. I have no problem with having a conversation with people based on merit and ideas and difference of opinion on whether or not you think somebody is good. But guess what? We can have exchange of thoughts and go back and forth because I respect you, because I know you mean what you say. And you're gonna, you know how you show me a person that spends time on something, and I'll show you a person that's serious about it. And if you go and say, I watched all of this, and I'm gonna tell you why Arch Manning is better than him. I'm gonna tell you why Lenore Sellers is better than him. I'm gonna tell you why Cade Klubnik is better than him. I'm gonna tell you why Garrett Nussmeier is better than him. I'm gonna tell you why Drew Aller is better than him. But when they say point blank, period, that next year's class is better and they haven't played a snap, but this year's class, or the guys that are in camp, who you are seeing snaps from, who you are seeing reps from, who have tape, who have already done it in college, you're saying the unseen is better than the seen. I call that narrative-based lying. Because even if it was your opinion, you will do the work and have an informed opinion. But you say, what quarterback you want? I don't know. I'm not an analyst. I talk to other people. I don't got the time to be looking at tape. I don't know what the quarterback's supposed to be doing anyway. So how do you have an opinion that next year's class is better, sight unseen? Your son come home. He got 3 Ds in a row. He gonna tell you, don't worry about it, Dad. Next year I'll do better. What? If you don't get your next year, I'll be better. You ain't gonna make it to next year with all them D's and F's. You prove today to earn tomorrow. But they say it in. People be such charlatans. They think that you can say it a certain way and it's just gonna hit. No, it's not. Stop playing with me. Matter of fact, let me put my thing back up. No. I might mess the flow up, but I gotta go. Stop playing. You know what they mean. And you wonder why people get upset because you talking about next year. You wasting people's time. You got the nerve to sit here and be mad at Myles Garrett for calling out the truth. You is wasting people's time and energy. Wasting my time. What arrogance level you got to say that I'm going to hold everybody back because I feel a certain way? I'm going to waste everybody's time because I feel a certain way, or our timeline ain't this. You will be in the unemployment line messing with G. Bush. I'm not playing around with y'all. And by the way, they'll rub your shoulders. I'm letting you know right now. You go ahead. I'm ready for the smoke outright. You think I'm gonna play around with y'all all season? You think people are gonna play around with y'all all season, and while you losing game after game after game after game, and it's still telling somebody ain't ready to play, we ain't trying to see it, bro? Listen, good luck with that, because I'm on you every week. I'm trying to get in shape. I got some energy level now. I'll be on here every day. I got blog time, and you know what? It might not be me necessarily. I'm not sending nobody's threats, but here's what I'm gonna tell y'all right now. The best thing in the world about having a bunch of new people in the building that's in the Browns mix is they not gonna sit back and wait patient for that line of BS that you give them other fans. You've been feeding them for 40 years, because they don't care. They ain't here for you. Why you think they so mad when you say it? Y'all ever wonder why I like disruptors. I like people that move the status quo around. They're not gonna sit here and let you be comfortable in your ivory tower while we take L's, and we got people that can help you out and win some games, or at least evaluate them. See, they don't care nothing about your doctrine or how long you've been here or going to the muni lot. They ain't going to the muni lot. And guess what? They're gonna be loud every week. I can't stand them. I'm glad. Come on over here and put some heat under these people. It's time out for all of the status quo. I like uncomfortable people. I like uncomfortable hosts, uncomfortable journalists, uncomfortable managers, uncomfortable quarterbacks. I like uncomfortable people, because comfort is where you take L's. Comfort is where you get stagnant. I like people on edge, because you know why? You're going to have to fight and claw every single day. Who behind me? Who over here? They coming after me. My boss looking at me. My production is down. Threw some picks. I wonder what he doing behind. You see, working out? I want to work out. I better work out too. I know he over there putting the work in. What is this other team over there doing? How many wins they got? I need to get them same. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. That's how I want people to move. That's how we want to go. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me take my banner down. I apologize. It's like the Sarah out here, but we're at the Barbershop Oasis refreshed. They should sip some of the ice cold truth. It's there. We look. There's so many things. This is why. So many things in this blog that I got to get to. There's so many things, so much. Because I look at a direct representation and why I can identify with it, and why a lot of people can identify with it. Because this barbershop is about sports, music, and culture. And I purposely put the culture in there to always remind myself to understand what and where you came from and how you got here. The barbershop was my first employer. It will probably be my last. Because when you out here and they don't, and we know when we talk about opportunity, we know about opportunity. I remember working as an intern at places, no names necessary. And I carry this with me to this day here. And it is the reason why I am unapologetically willing to tell the truth at all times. Because this was the defining moment that put me where I'm at today, and will continue to drive me no matter what people say. I interned at a place, did what I needed to do. I showed up. I drove my car in the snow, the ice, I graduated with honors from Ohio Media School. I received the Cleveland Association of Broadcaster Award, scholarship. Mind you, I got 2 bachelor's degrees, one in communication and one marketing from Ohio University. I have a Series 6 and 66. After I graduate college, I go to Ohio Media School. I drove from Canton to Cleveland. That's about an hour. 3-4 days a week. After that, I did intern hours. I had the most intern hours of anybody. I got an internship day 1. I remember going into a meeting with an executive, and I thought the meeting was going to be a meeting about possible employment. I get to the meeting. We start talking. And the meeting took a weird turn. Because in that meeting, instead of talking about opportunities, talking about what I've done or where I go from here, it quickly devolved into him giving me resume writing tips for when I give my resume to other people. What? I said, what? Resume writing tips? I'm in my 30s. I said, hold on, let me look. I'm looking at my resume. Mind you, this is the same resume that helped me get a scholarship. Same resume that I got a scholarship for a week prior. Oh, by the way, he was there when I got the scholarship. I said, wow. At that point in time, I learned one of the most difficult lessons in the world. Sometimes you're going to have a different opinion of yourself than other people will. And I take that with me everywhere. Even though I had 2 bachelor's degrees and I had a broadcasting degree and I had all these accolades, to some people that don't matter. So what do? You can sit there and cry, or you can believe that God gonna put you in a position that nobody can take you out of. I looked at this logo. I said, I want that logo. He gave it to me. And that logo means something more than just sitting up here talking about sports. When I came in the game, they said you shouldn't talk about none of that. How dare you talk about religion? How dare you talk about culture? How dare you talk about these things that make you who you are? But I unapologetically do it. You know why? Because he told me, if you do what I say, and you stand on what I tell you in the principles and how to live, and you openly talk like you talk, I'll make sure you never lack. And I believed him. And to this day, I grew up in the city of Cleveland. I ain't never had no full-time radio job. I ain't never had no, till UCSS came along, until other things came along. He told me, don't worry about it. You're going to use this to get where you need to go. So some people, you think you getting marginalized, you think they looking over you, you know what your resume is, you understand what your principles is. Don't mess it up. You know where you're supposed to be at. You know where you're supposed to be at. And this flows right into what I want to talk about. I'm gonna get to all these super chats, but I gotta go and get to this. And it's exactly the reason Shedeur is in Cleveland, for a reason. Coach Prime's health struggles made me realize something about his parallel with Shedeur's struggles. When you look at Coach Prime and you listen to him, one thing that stuck with me was he said in the interview, I never questioned why me, God. He just said, I knew you was going to bring me through it. I never questioned it. I never told my sons, I didn't tell them, I wanted them to concentrate on their thing. I said, man, that's strange. Man, he didn't tell us it's too Shiloh and Shedeur. Nah, I ain't tell them. I wanted them to concentrate on what they needed to concentrate on. And it dawned on me. In life, as you grow up as a man, God puts you in positions where you need to do something bigger and greater. And the place that you are at is where you're supposed to be. Coach Prime, ask yourself this. One of the best athletes, one of the best to ever do it. He then had toes amputated, circulation problems in his legs, bladder cancer. You ever ask yourself, dang, why he get all these afflictions? What? Because when you openly profess certain things, get ready for all hell to break loose. I had to go back to myself and look at a story that I always remind myself when I think I'm feeling bad for myself. I go look at the story about Job. And Job was one of the richest people in the Bible. Family, wife, kids. One day, it's funny, God and devils talk about each other. Back there hanging out, they said, man, devil walks up, hey. Job got it easy. You talk, he said, look at my servant Job over there. He said, Job got it easy. Of course he gonna be your servant. He rich, wife is beautiful, family prosperous. Look at all these acres and land he got over here. It's easy to be a believer and professing all this good, make you feel good stories. If you always got favor, I bet you, if you take some of that away, I bet you he'll turn on you. I bet you he'll curse you. God says, hold on. All right. I know Job. I know what he's going to do. I'm going to allow you to test him. Guess what? You can do everything but kill him. So the devil goes about, famine on his land, loses his family, all his riches, all of the material things that he has. And then Job does what? Exactly what God told the devil he was going to do. He rejoiced. He said, I know who God is. I understand what my mission is. And I'm still going to praise him regardless. Prime got all the money in the world. Family, all that good stuff. But guess what? God tested him. Because all that money and that fame can't bring you through certain stuff. And by default, the sins of the father or the test of the father pass to the lineage. See, a lot of people don't realize it's easy for people to marginalize you when they feel you already had it easy. The number one gripe with Shedeur is he's arrogant, he's brash, he doesn't do this and that. You know what they said? I told him, hey, Shedeur a good player, but what happened if you take all that away? Shedeur a good ball player, but what happens when he ain't playing with his dad? Shedeur a good ball player, but what happens if I take all that wealth? You're a 5th round pick now. You ain't getting no bonus money. What happens when you don't just automatically go to the first to the huddle? You're going to work your way from the bottom. What happens when you don't have your family around and your support structure ain't there? and Shiloh and your dad ain't there. Let's see what you do now. Let's see you go to a strange city, in a new city with a different temperature and a different energy where you ain't loved. And maybe people don't write the nicest things about you. What you gonna do now? You know what God said? You can take all that away, but you can't kill him. This is the best place in the world for him to be at. Just like me, when I was growing up, I didn't understand things. The best thing in the world that ever happened to me was me sitting in that office and him saying, let's go over your resume. Because that shaped and made me who I am today. And so when I overcame that, and I said, listen, he told me, get in front of a camera and start talking. And there was 2 people, maybe 3 people, 10 at night, nobody, no people, no views. And he just kept telling me, talk in front of that camera. And I was obedient. I talked in front of the camera. And sooner or later, people started to show up. People started to pull up. Because the ultimate thing he was showing me was, I giveth, I taketh away. So now, when I move around, I can boldly proclaim, you didn't make me, you can't break me. I'm not boasting in myself, I'm boasting in what the favor is. So when they tell and they strip you down and they say things at the back of the narrative, all it's doing is setting them up for this. When he actually gets the opportunity and he actually puts that work in, and when things go and hit, can't nobody say they made you. Can't nobody say that this is our doing. Can't nobody say that we always knew you was gonna do that. You got the advantage. You had this, that. No, 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 no. It's documented. It's there. So the only thing you can say is, I ain't gonna lie, he good. That boy good. That boy good. You ain't got to pat me on the back. That boy good. But it ain't me. It's him. He put you there. All those experiences that you go through, that fire, the trials, they are necessary. Trial by fire is necessary because he wants to see what your mettle is, because it's going to get rougher. This ain't nothing. He showed you in a minute. He showed you. Oh, you think the media is tough? Let me show you what your father is dealing with. I had him writing the will. You see, all of that talk about what prime is and what prime ain't. Even when people try to nitpick the relationship, he was still being a father. He was still teaching his son, and God was teaching him. You think you're going through something? Tap in with your dad. I gave him a trial too. So after you go through that, you're going to be unbothered because he showed you what real life is and what real miracles are and how you came through it. So for me, the most important thing that I say in this situation is he is here to get what he is supposed to get. And a lot of people are getting mad at me for saying this, but he is here for a reason. He is here not by mistake, not by happenstance. He is here to get what he needs to get. And I stand on this principle. I said the same thing with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's life wasn't great while he was here. But those trials and tribulations where he is at put him on a trajectory where he is today. Baker Mayfield had his family steal millions of dollars from him after being the number one pick. Browns didn't go right. He was cocky at the end, a little arrogant. The guy had to do this. I'm going to take that away. Panthers not going to work. Went to the Rams. Rams not going to work. Had to take a minimal deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he resurrected his career. Contrary to popular belief about what Baker Mayfield is and ain't, I always want to see people prosper and turn their life around. Why would I hate on a man that can feed his family, that saw some things, that would understand what it is? I'm not rooting for Baker because he don't got that jersey on. Listen, I like the Cleveland Browns, but that ain't my life. I respect people and men in general. I ain't part of no ideology cult. And if Shedeur Sanders don't get his opportunity, right? I'm mature enough. I'm humble enough. I understand life enough that sometimes I realize that it ain't where you first start that God gonna really change some things, that where you supposed to be at. I had to go through all of those trials and feel like you overlooked, that you're marginalized. They don't give you a shot. It's always yes, but. Yeah, good, but. You talk about stuff we don't agree with. You don't sound like nobody. You use slang. You use ebonics. What is that panda? Why you say that? Who are you talking to? You talking codes. I don't know if you're talking about me or not. But I did all of that to do here. And without each one of them steps, I'm not sitting here talking to you 4,000 people today. He's here for a reason. And I hope the Cleveland Browns, honestly, do an evaluation and realize that certain people can come around and change your trajectory of your life. It's up to you to be smart enough, humble enough, and emotionally intelligent enough to accept it. There's somebody running around telling LeBron James, because he's taller than everybody, that he should post up and not dribble. Fool. Don't project your insecurities on people that don't think like you. At the end of the day, he's here in Cleveland for a reason. And when you take a look at that from my standpoint, more than anything, that's the most important aspect of this whole situation. And finally, moving forward, as we wrap this thing, I always tell people, when you battling and you fighting a war, always understand that objectives change. You can't fight the first part of a war the same way you fight the middle part. You can't fight the middle part the same way you fight a war at the end. There's certain levels, there's certain things you that you have to do to win the war. The first battle tactics ain't gonna work. They get used to them. Your enemy starts to adapt to what you're doing. They start reverting to other tactics. Then now you have to figure out, how am I gonna move on my battlefield in order to block, combat, move, pivot, and win my objective of winning this war. The reality of the situation is, the new tactics is conflate, deflect, and to deflate. You conflating two things. People aren't telling you that the Cleveland Browns don't want Shedeur Sanders. They're telling you that they're fed up about the reindeer games that you plan and trying to act like we don't understand reality and give him a fair shot. That's what they're saying. Deflect. Every single time we try to get back to the field, you start going back to some other stuff and why he's a fifth in this, right? And deflate. You're deflating the spirit. You're trying to deflate people. When they say, look how well he's playing, it's just practice. Look how many touchdowns passes he threw. Oh, it's against the threes. Look how he's doing well in the media. Well, he had to be humbled. Those are the rules of engagement. That is what's going on. So what you have to understand, in like-minded people, you have to change your tactics. You have to develop and figure out, how do we move this thing past the initial stages? My suggestion would be, and how I'm moving, I'm tuning out anybody that say fifth round anything. You might as well be Casper the Friendly Ghost. You say fifth, I'm not listening. I know immediately when you say fifth round pick, I already know what you want. I don't got time for it. I don't. I'm not even gonna give you the energy anyway. I'm not gonna sit here and waste my time trying to defend and trying to talk you out of this fifth round quarterback narrative. Take it as you want. I'm not commenting. I'm not liking. I'm gonna let you sit there with them 4.5 views. I'm not gonna battle with you about that. Because at the end of the day, I think you're just trying to be funny and you're trying to gaslight me and get me to a point where now I'm going to comment a bunch of 1,000 times and try to say why this is that, why this is that. I'm leaving your comment section naked. Ain't going to be nothing down there. No, nothing, thumbs, nothing. Take that. Second of all, if you're not talking about specifics of what they're doing on the field, I'm tuning you out. Tuning you out. I don't need to talk about what Shedeur did in college. I can see what he's doing in the pros. I don't need to talk about what he did in rookie minicamp. He did that, now he's doing it again. I don't need to talk about all these other tertiary things. I'm evaluating quarterbacks on the field. If you're not talking about what's on the field and at a level where you can break it down, I don't want to hear it. You might as well be Casper the Friendly Ghost. You have to stop. I'm done dancing for people. I'm not mentally dancing for nobody. No more. You can say the most ignoramus, off the top stuff you want to say. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm not. I'm just let the work stand for what it is. The work points it out. I'm not getting any comments. I'm not trying to listen. Joe and Chardon or Sam and Cleveland Heights or Brian and Euclid or Jesse and Lyndhurst. I'm sorry. I'm not entertaining it. Just one, like so what do you think about the quarterback competition? Crickets. I ain't even been watching it like that, dog. I just been. What'd you think about? Nah, man, I just been, I've been just trying to worry about my health, really. I really ain't been watching it like that. I ain't got no time for it at all. Because you're not being an honest arbiter. You're not having an intellectually stimulated conversation. You're just saying stuff. And it comes out of a place of either not knowing or intentionally you're just trying to have conversations about stuff that you know ain't true. So that's another thing. I'm done having the conversation. And for a larger point, and that we have to transition to is I gotta stop, and I'm bad with this. I gotta stop giving so much credence to what some of the people that I think aren't informed on what they're talking about. I gotta stop giving it all that life. I actually have to take a page out of Shedeur's playbook. He's unbothered, right? I gotta take, and I gotta really go to a point where, you know what? I'm just let it speak for what it is. They know how you feel about it. Now, go out and prove it. But you got, and as a whole, people have to stop letting people pull you back into this circular argument about why, when, what, where, and how, when we ain't talking about now. It don't matter why, when, where, and now. It's now. living perfectly in the present, and always face forward. So I do what I do, you do what you do. But my energy level is about talking to the people about what I'm seeing, less about why you wrong. The devotion, I ain't doing it because it doesn't do people a service. It does a disservice to the actual stuff that happens on the field. Every time you got to sit up here for an hour or two, and every time somebody say something, you feel like you got to get up and go, I got to get up and prove that, or I got to get up. This is the theme of the show. Stop trying to prove yourself. Stop trying to prove your point. Sometimes, Bible always talks about be still and stand. Even when the wind blowing, quiet your spirit and be still. I'm done with this person said something, let's go do a blog. This person, no, I'm going on here and be like, did y'all see this work? This work is crazy. You see how we was balling, that's what my job is. So hopefully, as we have 4,000 people in here, my goal is to move the conversation to the place it should have always been. Not who took this guy and the first team reps. When you see it, I didn't really see that. I can't mention nobody. I'm just, at this point, I can't mention nobody. Because every time I do it, all it does is give them another incentive to keep popping the way they are. Because people will like and comment and look, I see it's working. No, we're not falling for it no more. We're not about to do that. So, with that being said, let me get to your super chats. I know you got a bunch of stuff in here. There's 4,000 people wherever you at. Hit the like button for me. We got a little sermonish here, but I felt that was important because not only does my blog, what I try to do is I talk about sports, but I also try to uplift people. I try to give you something that you can come away from this podcast with a different energy level that you can use in real life, not just sports. I want to give you something that you come away with. That's what I want the barbershop to be. And that's why I really respect the people that come in here, that's Ravens fans, that's Miami Dolphins fans, or Cincinnati Bengals fans, and they say, I don't even know. I don't even watch y'all, but I watch your blog because I just like the way you kick the game. I want you to be able to take something away every single time you come in here and say, man, you know what? I feel, you know what I'm saying? I got some hope. I got some motivation. I got some, you know what I'm saying? I got some real life substance. I can go with something. So I appreciate y'all supporting that. And we definitely gonna get to your comments here. Man, we got a lot of them. I'm gonna go through these as quickly as I can. I'll make sure we get to everybody before we go, because I really want to get to you. And I appreciate everybody who is giving super chats as well, and those who don't. Like I said, don't feel pressured to drop no super chats. Like, if you guys, and I appreciate everyone who does, don't get me wrong, but if you want to help the content, the best way you can help this content, I always say, is to like, share, subscribe, so like-minded people can find this type of content. All right, hold on, make sure. At 504 Wheelman, if they don't play with the number ones, if he play with the number ones, he will outplay Flacco. I listen, that day when he get them reps, that's the point. Like, I don't want to make it seem like we trying to talk about no charity speech. The dude can play ball. That's the basis of everything. That's the basis of what we talking about. That's why if he was Tim Tebow, if he was a guy that really wasn't no quarterback that could throw, we wouldn't be even talking about this. Derek Spinner. AB is forcing Kevin to trot him out there and prove that Dylan Gabriel pick was right. It wasn't. Do you want to win, or do you want to be right? I've always said this, Derek Spinner, that I believe only about 15% of the teams in the league at any given time are trying to win. People are willing to win on their own terms, and people are willing to win with people they identify with. But if you was trying to win at all costs, you wouldn't be doing some of the same stuff that you're doing. You wouldn't be doing it. You just wouldn't. You would have a different approach. Reporters mad they have to work now. That's why I be getting mad. They be like, I'm tired of talking about this already. How? How you tired? I'm up on Saturday. How you tired about? And I work 5 days a week. How you tired? Don't make no sense. Don't make no sense. G, you're head and shoulders above them, man. Bridget Maxey 4197. I appreciate you. I appreciate you tuning in. You've been a big supporter. I appreciate you guys. People can't admit owner collusion. It's the American way. Way daily in boardrooms. It happens all the time. Legit Girl 1. Appreciate so much for the super chat. The NFL is liable for collusion. And you'd be like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, we have the proof. We have the facts. They're there. We've been doing this type of stuff everywhere. Why would the owner do that? The same reason Colin Kaepernick don't play. See, you know what? This is why you can't have anything nice. Vince, what would Cleveland coaches and evaluators have to say had Shedeur gone 3 or 14 and had one interception, or with the 4 or 5 interceptions Dylan's thrown over all? They'd be flipping out. They would have told you, they would have already dismissed him. There would already be people, and they say this now, even though he's outplayed people, I think he's going to get cut. People say that now, he done outplayed all of them. What do you think if he had that type of energy? But as I go to, you got to go through the fire, because they stripped all of, listen, the only thing that Shedeur has at this point, he doesn't have no coalition of all of this stuff that works in his advantage. Think about it. He has to count on 4th and 5th stringers to catch the ball, get open, and protect him. And he's still completing more passes. These guys is playing with ones and ain't throwing no touchdown. It's crazy to me. But like we said, you can't hide forever. Winter is coming. In the words of the great Jon Snow, winter is coming. Afro Thunder, we appreciate you so much for the super chat. The bullheadedness of the organization blows me up. I don't care if Gabriel is picking up the playbook faster. It's clear he has a hard time seeing the field and making throws behind the NFL-sized O-line. Give Sanders more reps. It's painfully obviously to a lot of people. It's the reason why I don't. And and once again, I do know mental gymnastics, and I do know victory laps on another person for the Browns not performing accurately or not performing well. Everybody has bad days. Dylan Gabriel's showing some good stuff out there, but for all those people that are, the problem is you guys are saying this stuff, and it makes people want to go hard. It makes people want to be like, come on, man. Like, y'all know. Stop acting like you don't know what people is talking about. You done amped this stuff up to 1,000%. And we know he has not performed better. It just is what it is. But you keep selling that to us, and it's wild. So people are going to get fed up. They're just going to be like, you know what? The whole thing is a sham. It's not about, again, who picked him. Thank you, brother. We can all see he should be the quarterback hands down. You got to remember, since we've been in existence, they always gave Hebrews a hard time, but we have Yahweh in our life. We appreciate your super chat. ATO Big Walt, thank you so much, sir, or young individual, or ma'am. Are they trying to tank Shedeur's career, cut him or trade him? I don't think that. Here's what I think. And I try to tell this to people all the time. I don't think they're tanking his career. I think that they had all the appropriate plans that they were going to take him, get some jersey sales, see what he looks like. Hopefully Dylan Gabriel was better. He doesn't really get that many reps. They lose a bunch of games. They go to next year. They draft a quarterback in the first round, and they get their dome in 3 years. That was the plan. However, the plan was messed up by Jimmy Haslam saying, I don't care what he said. Jimmy Haslam, from all the people I'm hearing, from all the buzz, it was 1,000% Jimmy Haslam who said, yeah, we're going to take him. And guess what? The other two weren't thrilled about it, but the problem is when you take him and he can play, you have a PR nightmare because people in the national media, all of the quarterbacks, the Drew Bledsoes, the Kurt Warners, the coaches, the Herm Edwards, the former GMs, Louis Riddicks, to everybody that is a player, Ocho Cinco, you can keep talking about it. They all say, this is who I would play. So now, if you don't play them and you're losing games, you're going to put pressure on yourself because you're going to say, everybody is now watching. And you could play those games when you don't got a guy that's not as popular or as talented because you can always hide him. Or you could just throw him on the field and say, look, he's garbage. Neither is true. So now you put yourself in a position where you have to make moves. You have to do certain things. And I think they're uncomfortable with it. It's all going to come out next week with the joint practices in Friday's game. There you go, cuz. You are correct. Always be bringing it back to the same thing. That's what I always encourage y'all. Because if y'all want to get in these arguments on the internet with these dudes, they always gonna bring it to something else. But keep bringing it back to what the main thing is the main thing. We gonna find out. We gonna find out. And when the world sees it, what you gonna say? Yoshi Doshi, challenge accepted. Most accurate passer in the draft, most intelligent quarterback, can learn any offense. Several offensive coordinators created bad fundamentals to win games, turned around 2 programs, top 10 talent. That's what I'm talking about. You got the directive. You got the directive. Stand on business. No more playtime. We standing on business. But G. Bush, he's a 5th round. What did you just say? I don't know who that was. I can't even read. No more energy to that nonsense. Y'all acting like I am not a lion and you are not part of Siegfried and Roy. Every single time you get that glittery sequin suit on and start dancing around saying, 5th round pick, 5th round pick, I'm not going to be jumping up on no ladders doing no tricks for you. Doing no tricks. That's old. Y'all gonna have to talk. I'm gonna force y'all to talk about the game. Listen, like in battle rap, make them rap. No, you make him rap. Apply that pressure. That was a dumbed down evaluation Coach P made. Fair trade 4 times 2. As a Ravens fans, I hope y'all don't start Shedeur. He brings y'all too much. Trade him to the NFC. That was a funny one. See, one thing I could give about Baltimore. One thing I give to Baltimore, those who are playing it safe will never inherit the promised land. Another Bible story. sent scouts out to say, go tell me about the promised land over there. Some of them came back and said, there's giants over here. Y'all crazy for trying to get the promised land. 2 came back and said, we got this. You see, the Baltimore Ravens, the reason why they reap the benefits of it, watch this make sense. Watch this cook. When everybody told the Baltimore Ravens that Lamar Jackson was a receiver, when they disrespected this man in college, talk about you need to just play a receiver, should have won the Heisman Trophy 2 years in a row, he'll never win with that. He's the most prolific running quarterback ever, a 2-time NFL MVP, and the Ravens were so forward-thinking that they went and said, the guy who was in his prime that you're clamoring over right now, and Joe Flacco, who's 90, the Ravens cut him in his prime and said, you're done. We got the new wave. We got the upgraded package. That little receiver that y'all thought it was a receiver, we're going to take him late in the last pick in the first round. He's going to change the game. If you ain't forward thinking, never go to the promised land. It takes too many decisions. The 49ers, I'm trading Trey Lance. Get him out of here. But coach, we wasted all these picks on Trey. Get him out of here. I'm going with Brock Purdy. You're not going to the promised land and let Aaron Rodgers. You know what? We like Aaron Rodgers. Give me Jordan Love. You could have got a receiver. Why are we driving court? We got Aaron Rodgers. Nah. The same reason we took Aaron Rodgers when we had Brett Favre. If you don't make bold decisions, you're not going to the promised land. We talk about Flacco, he 40, and the Ravens, the Ravens said they was done with him 30 years ago. How ironic. The 2 teams you can't seem to beat, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Ravens said, we got Lamar Jackson. Joe Flacco, thank you for whatever you've done, but Kenny Pickett, yeah, we know you played in Pittsburgh, Pitt University. We saw you more than anybody. We drafted you in the first round, but yeah, we're going to have to say we're done with that too. And it's just so ironic that these are the people that the Cleveland Browns clamor for. You clamoring for people's old work? Because guess what? You're backwards. You're scared to change. You're scared to take chances. You don't develop. You don't think forwardly. You're not innovative. And that's why you ain't won nothing since '89. Thank you, Ravens fan. Shedeur has been balling the entire defense as a whole with the second, third, and fourth stringers all through camp so far. Squizerm, shout out to you. We appreciate the super chat. Shedeur got 0 snaps during teams at today. We'll wait to see that too. 0 snaps during teams today. So let me ask you a question. How does a person thrift remix 6183? How does a person go 3 or 14 with picks but still get reps? Is it merit based or not? I don't think it's merit based. I think it's about whatever you want to put out there. Can't be merit based. Can't be. Gray Devo. We appreciate your super chat. How does local media fans and some organizational members talk against their own player? I've never seen anything like this before. Hey, listen, if you new to the place, it's a different type of hater in Ohio. It's high level. It's high level. Like I learned very early that there's a very strange counterculture type thing. We got this thing where we tend to want people to fit in nice little boxes that doesn't threaten our comfortableness, right? Like we also have this thing where we have this idea where we live in an echo chamber where we just listen to a bunch of people and it keeps bouncing around until it becomes like your truth, even if it has nothing to do that's rooted in any sort of factual information. Like the fact that it took 6 months in the dude going to the projects and helping people who lost everything, it took somebody seeing that for you not to believe what some scout, anonymous scout, for another organization said about a person you don't know. Yoshi Doshi can go into detail with both rooks, not 222 letters. Hey, Bridget Maxey, 41987. How the heck did 12 not get any reps today? Well, here's the thing. I was not surprised they couldn't give him reps, because what happens is if you simply just give him Dylan Gabriel's reps because he played poorly, then you would be admitting that he played poorly, and that you would be admitting that maybe the 5th round pick is better than the 3rd round pick, which then begs to question why was Dylan Gabriel a 3rd round pick? So they have to really play both sides here. They have to say, on one end of the spectrum, we like Shedeur Sanders and we do want him on our team. We think he's good. But at the same time, we can't say that Dylan Gabriel isn't that good, because it would then say nobody else evaluated him at that high of a level. So it looks bad when you just take the man's reps the next day, because it signals that maybe your evaluation was wrong. So how they do it is they slowly but surely, so they can look like they're controlling the narrative, like we brought him along slowly and we really did what we needed to make sure he really was confident and we got the infrastructure around him, and you know what it is. Zach Jackson just posted, Shedeur has not got no team reps and Dylan is still looking bad. For you guys, I'm not saying it's the best thing possible, but this is just backing up what I'm saying. So now so if this is happening, Jay, U3Q3N, thank you for the super chat. If this is happening and you got people that's obviously not paying attention to it and obviously not pointing this out and obviously still running with this stuff, you know not to pay attention. You already know what they on, because it's painfully obvious. Sometimes I always say you can win without not even getting on the field. Sometimes you win just by the other person doing something. You be like, that ain't it. That ain't it. And here's the thing too. It should just boil down to this. It should be easy as this when you're talking about the reps. Shedeur is balling. He's just better. Let's not make it about the reps. The reps ain't the thing. He's just better. I'm not getting in an argument about reps or when is he going to get them or why is he not getting them. He's performed better. Bottom line. No open-ended questions. He's performed better. He's outperformed them the entire camp. His numbers are better. His tape is better. He has more touchdowns. He's made more plays with less around him. He's just performing better. It's up to them whether or not they want to put somebody out there. But I don't have to say and evaluate you and just say, listen, bro, you're not outplaying them. Simple. He's not. So but when every comment is reps, first team, again, it ain't about the reps. It's about what you are doing when you're playing. Simple as that. Because he was with the twos and it was lighting the ones up. Who cares if I was with the ones? I make the twos the ones. When I'm on the field, the threes is ones. When I'm on the field, the fours is ones. If I'm on the field with support staff, they gonna ball. I ain't got to be on your show to have a program. Whoever I'm on the field with is the ones. The ones is here right now. How is it the ones? Because I said so. Touchdown. You know who that is over there? I know you didn't. They don't even play for the Browns. They're the training staff. Touchdown. When did they let the women start playing football? Don't matter. Susie is the #1 receiver. Touchdown Browns. The ones is what y'all can use that. That's the new thing. I'm giving y'all a lot of game today. Y'all use that. The ones is where I'm at. If you ain't playing with me, you not a one. You're just a weekend host. Ones is on the weekend. What matters on the weekend? Saturdays count, Sundays count. Where you at? Ones is where I'm at. That's how you do it. Be here and talk about these ones. And Fonzo, today, 12, with no team reps. Make it make sense. No, they didn't get no first team reps. That's how it went. Oh, you didn't know? None of the offensive linemen, they ain't get no first team reps. First team reps is over where I'm at. Sahara, I was unresponsive. I was unresponsive after walking to the gym. Jacksonville, Florida Beach, R Field 125. G, I'm a member of the National Society of Collegiate Scholars. You rock. I appreciate you so much. Squizerm, they're giving Gabriel every chance to prove he's the guy, and he's failing. This is what they wanted to see in their evaluation. Shedeur is up. Hey, sometimes you can win for somebody else's blunders. Not wishing nothing bad on him. This is what it is. Real CFB watchers know Dylan was a bridge quarterback in college. That's why he went to team. He don't suck. He just don't got that it factor Shedeur got. And thank you, LJ Shacha, by the way, because look, and I've seen Dylan Gabriel play for 6 years. Dylan Gabriel wasn't even the quarterback. He was the quarterback at the time at UCF who tore his knee up and was out of football for 2 years, eventually transferred to Florida State. Dylan Gabriel came in after him. He played at Central Florida, went to Oklahoma, was there for a little bit. And when you talk to people that are coaches and stuff, they just say, listen, they can't run a conventional under center game with Dylan Gabriel because he has so many limitations. And when the pocket is collapsing and people are after him, he just has a very difficult time seeing the vision. And his accuracy is off when those people, and listen, it's not a knock. It's just, that's what it is. Earl the Pro gonna produce your show on ESPN. Oh man, hey, ESPN, I don't know. I tell the truth too much. Big man, CCVXI, man, legendary show today, G Bush. I want to thank you. I appreciate you. I can't believe it's almost 5,000 people in here for no reason. It's crazy. I'm just up here talking. OU represent. Thanks for keeping it real. Scott wants to grow. I thank you so much. Dragon Abandoner. Dylan having another rough day. 12 and 12 has 0 reps. But you know what I think about it? We got reps ready to go. Stephen A. Smith, G. Bush will make ESPN great again. Shout out to Stephen A. Smith. I had the opportunity to interview him too. Shout out to Stephen A. Man. ESPN Cleveland, get G. Bush contract ready. I'm an independent artist. You know what I'm saying? I'm independent. You know what I'm saying? Independent artist. Actually, man, shout out to the people, man, wherever I'm at, man. They have Shedeur running sprints with the wide receivers after practice while getting no reps today at all. Pickett and Gabriel are running one-on-ones now. Jay Edwards Jr. reporting live and ready to go from camp. Hey. What y'all should be asking yourself, and you should be saying is, what are they doing with the reps? That's another thing. Always remember, if you're dealing with, you got to give them something. They getting all these reps, ask them a question. Ask them. They getting all these first team reps. What the hell they doing with them? Where's the touchdowns? Where's the completions? Where's the highlights at? That's what you should be asking, because they want to put the onus on the 5th round pick. The onus is on the field. Why he ain't getting the reps. It's why he ain't this, and why he ain't, and why he ain't, and why he ain't. Well, what is the dudes that's getting the reps doing? Nothing. You gotta don't be on the defensive. Be offensive. You gotta go on the offense on them. Stop telling me what the 5th round pick ain't doing to get the reps, and start telling me what the veterans who've been in the league how many years. If you're a veteran and you've been in this league for how many years and you ain't cooking, you've been here forever, you not cooking, this is how I feel. If you that nice, I could turn on a microphone anywhere in the world. Switzerland, the UK, Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, South America, Argentina, Mexico. I could turn on a microphone anywhere in the world and I still would talk my stuff. You could put 1,000 people out there and I'm still gonna talk this way. Or it could be nobody out there. When you nice, you just nice. And if you know and you're a veteran that you've been doing it, that's why I be trying to tell them. I've been talking up here. I've been 2.5 hours. No pen, no pad, no bathroom breaks, no snacks, no audio visuals. I'm just here going talking. 2.5 hours. A lot of people talk about, I want to do a podcast. Tell me how to get in the game. Bro, can you talk for 4 hours? You better be ready to go. And no guests. And no callers. If nobody showed up in here, I still got 2, 3, 4 hours to go. Guess what? How you a veteran? How you a vet? You ain't got no touchdowns. You got no touchdowns. You said Dylan Gabriel he played for 7 squads or something. He got an Intel Pentium processing. Like, he got a supercomputer. He beat Deep Blue in chess. Matter of fact, he programmed Deep Blue. Where are the stats? Where are the highlights? And you're with the ones. Rosie, 0.2397. I'm my wife's name is Rosie. You're now one of my favorites. Super sticker. Thank you so much. Don't apologize. We show up for your sermons. I appreciate that too. I do. You know, we just talking a little bit. You're going to get a little bit of everything. So basically, they treated him like Bow Wow, like Mike. Exactly. At Kirk Davis. Exactly. A little bit. Sorry about the chats. We stand on business here. Hey, it's all good. Hey, man, listen. Like we said, it's all, we all of the Colorado players Shedeur played with and threw the ball to are ballers. Jimmy Horn is down there eviscerating people. Shiloh is balling. We already know what Travis Hunter doing. But he not elite. Come on. Sanders sat out. He has arm soreness. Dylan Gabriel, 11 of 22, Daniel Fousier says. Sanders will be QB2 after Gabriel struggle again. Boy. Hold on. Y'all gonna make me, hold on. Hold on. Y'all reporters, I apologize. Y'all gonna make me, let me see something. Y'all gonna make me get in my bag. Hold on. Hold on. Did he really say that? Hold on. This is bad radio. Sorry, people. This is horrible radio. Let me see if I'm gonna pull this up. Share my screen. Can I do? Hold on. Oh, can y'all see this? Let's see, Kev. This is Kevin Stefanski on practice the other day.
There's the old adage that it's never as bad as you think or never as good as you think as a coach when you go in to watch the tape. I would tell you, with any of our players, and in particular Dylan, who's wants to be great and wants to be great at practice, there's times that you're going to go through a tough period out here at practice, a tough 7-on-7, a tough team period, whatever it may be, and then you really try to learn from those reps. Again, I think it falls under the category of the guys are doing everything we're asking them to do. I think they're practicing hard. I think they're understanding some of the nuance in our scheme. They're certainly understanding some of the new techniques that are being taught by their coaches. So really have a pretty narrow focus when it comes to where we are as a football team just in general, but certainly offensively just focusing on making sure that they're getting an understanding of the schemes and the techniques.
So it looks like nasty work. It looks like nasty work for the Browns today. This is bad. This is bad. Let me see. Let me, because y'all had me. I said, hold on, let me see. Let me go ahead and see what's going on out here. Let me figure this out. Okay. Oh, wow. Seems that Shelby Harris batted a Dylan Gabriel ball down. Per Mary Kay, we'll get this tweet. I'll show you. Put this back up. This is completely impromptu. What we doing? Let's see. Here we go. This is per Mary Kay Cabot. Shedeur Sanders held out of team drills with some arm soreness, team said. Let's continue move on. Where we at? Just look at as defense won the battle rather than Dylan Gabriel failing to put the ball in the end zone. Let's see. What else? What are we doing? 0 team reps for Shedeur today. First time the rookie has gotten no reps in practice. So basically, they said his arm was hurt or sore a little bit. So you see what it is. But thank you. But it looks like another tough day for Dylan Gabriel. Tough day. Mary S. 12. Shedeur played with a fractured back. First season at CU, and now he's out with arms. He's out for arm soreness. They need to stop with. Now, here's the thing. I will say this. I'll say this. I have to take their word for it. I'm not going to say that they acted because Shedeur wouldn't do it. I mean, he'd be like, if I'm going to practice, I'm going to practice. Brian Mathis, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you. Every time I see nephew Travis Hunter ball out in Jacksonville, I shake my head. Cleveland could have had both of them. Trust me. I was hurt myself. I still am. I can't look at it. I can't watch Travis Hunter highlights because I'm still hurt. If we are being honest, the Browns only keeping 12 for pecuniary gains, ratings, and jersey sales. They're not keeping him for any other reason. That would be very foolish if it's true, because somebody's going to get fired for that because he actually can play. Look at the slide, step up in the pat time. Then compared to college, improvement from college to the pros after draft evaluation. Watching yet. If Shedeur was at Oregon, he'd be the first pick. I agree. They said 12 has shoulder soreness. He's out today. There you go. They're reporting shorter in practice because of arm soreness. Now I gotta take. Now listen, I gotta take it. If Shedeur said his arm is hurt, he said his arm hurt. That's all I can go by, because if if he wasn't hurt, he'd be out there, right? Okay. Let's keep it pushing. Shedeur played with a fractured back. The Browns is lying. I don't agree with that. I listen. You got to think about it like this too. When those guys are on the other field splitting reps, Shedeur is on the other field taking all of the reps. Right? So that could be a thing. So that means if it's a team period where he's not getting reps, they're splitting 20 plays. So that might be, what, 7 plays apiece? He's down there taking 20 throws by himself. So that could be a thing. At McGee, super sticker, thank you so much. We appreciate you. If you buy in the mainstream sports commentators, they will sell you on your independent mindset. God bless the child that got his own. The ghost of J Speed. I appreciate you. Official Tamarius Williams 86. Thank you so much for the super chat. G. Bush, Tyvis, and Earl, the real ones. Jason and Bull are suspect. They sometimes he always tell people, hey, listen, man, I don't know. In our community, I come from the barbershop where we argue in the barbershop. We go back and forth. So, Bull and Jason is cool with me. We go back and forth all the time. We don't got to agree on different things. They may have a different mindset on the way they come at different things from their personal experience or the way they think. I think that's part of the reason the show is entertaining, because we can go back and forth and have a discourse about what's going on. At Baked ZD 8725. Here's the thing, though. When has nephew 12 had a bad day? Never. Ain't had one. Black 5 Entertainment. They had to take Shedeur Sanders off the chart. The quarterback tracker was looking horrible. But Dylan Gabriel says camp began. It's a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, too. We was going to get to 5,000 in here. Shout out to y'all, man. At Devin the Dude 2023, G. Bush, the reason why folks are empathetic to 12 is because his slight reflects a lot of our reality. Competent and play by the rules, but overlooked. Appreciate you, my guy. At Workman needed not be ashamed. 499. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Shedeur Sanders is real. He keeps coming in early, leaving late. He needs to be careful, slow down, take care of his golden arm. By the way, that's another thing too. And I'm gonna end on that note. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. That's really good that you said that. I think that is really important to say here. Is that you got to realize this is why when people believe that the cards are stacked against you, it's the old adage that you got to work 2 to 3 times harder, longer to get the opportunity to get where people just got it. Dylan Gabriel getting these reps handed to him. Why? Because he was drafted where he was drafted. So now in order to even get that type of look, you got to come in early, an hour, and throw football. You got to stay late another hour and throw the football. You got to be on the other field taking every single rep, and people act like it don't count. Just to get in the conversation, to have people marginalize you and dismiss it. That's a lot of people in life's reality. Twice as longer, twice as everything, just to even be in contention. And then when you get your opportunity, you got to kill it. You ain't got to that goes back to the tweet. Think about it. It almost invalidates everything that we are saying. Look at this. I don't think people are truly appreciating how nearly impossible it's going to be for Shedeur Sanders to play well enough to go from a 5th-round pick to starting quarterback, convincing the Browns not to draft the quarterback in next year's round. This is what we're bringing it back to. The fact that you have to go longer, harder, earlier, faster, smarter, say all the right things just to be in the conversation when Dylan Gabriel just got to get out of bed. And he's gonna get the reps. And then when Shedeur plays, he better kill it. He better overkill it. He better kill it to the point where it's no doubt. And we've already had the groundwork laid. Nearly impossible. Underline the word. Not mine, not my words. Nearly impossible. That is what you're up against. But my grandmother always told me, one with God is a majority. And I'll take that to the bank. It only take one. It only take one. That's the point. It only take one. It only take me one opportunity before I get in and do what I think. It only take one time where I get in there and really do what I need to do. It only take one person to just stand and with me. Right? It's the one thing that you see and I see is this. They believe. Believing is infectious. Leadership is infectious. And when you motivate somebody, put them in a position where they're going to dive a little longer for a ball that they didn't think they can get. They're going to run a little faster when you need them to get that extra deep ball. Myles Garrett going to get you that sack and get you the football back to give you an opportunity to have a game-winning drive. You can't do nothing all for 3 quarters, but in that 4th quarter, everybody still got faith. That's what you need. And the seeds are there. With that being said, you never know. G. Bush might pull up. I might even go 2.5 hours and not play. You know what it is. If you want the fresh cut, on sports. You want the pure, unadulterated, how I give it up. You got to pull up to the barbershop to get it. And by the way, let me tell y'all something. The barbershop is special. People say, G. Bush, why you don't say that? Why don't you talk the talk you talk when you be on UCSS or over here? Or why you do it? Because it ain't for everybody. The barbershop is where you come when you want that real testament. You know where to come get it. You know where to come get the work. Every format ain't the same. And my job description ain't the same on every single format. But you know I'm going to keep it real. You know I ain't going to play no games. Every format ain't for me to go on 35-minute monologues. On them other shows, I got 3 to 5 seconds to get what I'm going to get off and get back to it, because it's 4 other people that got to talk and we got to run down. That is delivered by producers. But in the barbershop, I'm my own producer. In the barbershop, we got all day. We can go 12 hours on here. I can set my stuff up the way I want to set it up, and we can get what we need to get. You could pull up, go home, put it on the radio, come back. It don't even matter. So if you know where to get the real work at, don't complain that the work ain't over there. As long as you know what the secret code is, as long as you know what the password is, and as long as you pull up, you're going to get the real. That being said, you don't never know where I show up, radio, TV, internet. If you want the fresh cut on sports, keep the Clippers with me. Have a great rest of your evening, weekend. And as always, no matter if they're getting first team reps or not, go Browns.
Quality, service, atmosphere. You're next in the chair. Feel at home in the barbershop. G. Bush offers a fresh cut on sports. The barbershop isn't just grooming for guys. It's culture, it's lifestyle, it's sports. And it's now the barbershop is giving the sports scene a sheer shade and shine. Join the makeover now. Follow Garrett Bush at G. Bush 90.